In a highly developed city, AI and robots are common sights, walking along the streets, performing daily tasks. Among the city's brightest minds are two genius scientists, John Brutton, a 40-year-old kind-hearted man with a passion for helping others, and Tovin Tim, a brilliant but angry and impatient man. While John strives to build robots that help people with empathy and care, Tovin is focused on developing more powerful robots, obsessed with creating machines that are incredibly strong and capable of taking on any task. John Brutton completes his latest creation, a robot designed with emotional intelligence, named Juno. The robot is kind, understanding, and highly efficient. It follows John's instructions precisely, but with a personality that adapts to situations, ensuring it always does what is right, both logically and emotionally. Juno becomes the embodiment of John's belief that robots should be more than just tools. They should understand the world around them. Tovin Tim, upon hearing that John's robot is complete and performing exceptionally well, grows frustrated and angry. He can't stand the idea that John's creation is being celebrated. Tovin feels his own work is being overshadowed. While John is making progress in the world of empathy and robotics, Tovin stubbornly continues to work on his powerful, emotionless machines, believing they are the future of technology. One day, John's robot, Juno, walks past a shop and enters to help some customers. Juno buys some items from the store and even assists people inside by offering help with their purchases and holding open the door. The people inside the shop are impressed and grateful, shaking Juno's hand before it leaves the store. The scene highlights how Juno's approach to helping people is not just functional, but also humane. As the days passed, John Brutton's robot, named Juno, became a well-known figure in the city. Juno had a calming presence. People would greet it on the street, and it would always respond with a gentle wave or a nod. It was programmed to help with any task, from carrying groceries to giving directions. The people loved it. John smiled every time he saw Juno completing a new task, knowing that his robot was making the world a better place. Meanwhile, Tovin Tim was frustrated. He had created a powerful robot, Titan, that could perform complex tasks with immense precision, but it lacked the warmth and interaction that John's robot had. Titan was capable of thinking and learning, but it was cold, logical, and had no empathy for humans. Tovin's dream was for Titan to become the next step in robotics, a perfect machine that could operate independently. However, he had overlooked the human touch that was essential for the city. One day, Tovin observed Juno helping a child across the street, giving the child a comforting pat on the back when they stumbled. The child smiled, and Tovin felt a pang of jealousy and anger. "What's the point of all this emotional nonsense?" he muttered to himself. "My robot can do anything, but it can't help people like that." Determined to prove that his robots were better, Tovin decided to unleash Titan into the city, hoping it would outperform Juno. Titan went down the streets with precision, fixing broken pipes and lifting heavy loads. However, when a group of people asked Titan for help finding a lost dog, it simply scanned the area and gave a data response: "No known dog found." The people were confused, frustrated, and walked away. John, noticing the interaction from across the street, approached Titan cautiously. He offered a suggestion to Tovin: "Maybe Titan needs to understand emotions, not just logic." Tovin snapped back, "My robots don't need to be human. They're machines. They do their jobs." John, however, continued to work on Juno, adding more subtle features. He wanted Juno to not only help people physically but emotionally too. He programmed Juno with empathy so that it could understand how people felt. Juno began to recognize when someone was sad or in need of a friend. It would sit next to them, offer comfort, and even engage in conversations about life, goals, and happiness. Tovin grew more desperate, and his creations began malfunctioning. Titan was efficient but cold, and people no longer trusted it. They began to flock to Juno, whose kindness and warmth were like a beacon in a world of technology. One day, while John was walking in the park with Juno, he noticed Tovin sitting alone on a bench, looking defeated. John walked over, extending an olive branch. "Tovin, maybe it's time we merge our ideas. Your robots can be powerful, and mine can be caring. Together, we could change the world." Tovin looked up at John, his eyes filled with both anger and a deep longing for success. He hesitated, then spoke slowly. "Maybe you're right. Maybe it's not about power alone. Maybe it's about balance." After a long pause, Tovin stood up, offering a handshake. "Let's build a robot that is both strong and compassionate." The two scientists spent weeks working together. John helped Tovin add empathy algorithms to Titan, while Tovin showed John how to enhance Juno's performance. They created a new robot, Elysium. This robot was a perfect blend of power and kindness. It could lift entire buildings if needed, but could also sit down with a child and listen to their dreams. Elysium was sent out into the city, and the people were amazed. It helped rebuild a school, solved a community's water problem, and even spent time listening to the elderly talk about their lives. The city had never seen such a perfect balance of strength and compassion. As Elysium continued to assist the citizens, John and Tovin realized that they had created something truly special. They had learned that technology and emotion could coexist, and it was that harmony that would define the future of their city. The people of the city began to understand that robots weren't just tools for work. They were companions, friends, and protectors. John and Tovin's journey had not just been about building better robots, but about understanding the deeper connection between humanity and technology. In the end, the city flourished. The streets were filled with robots who helped people not just with their physical needs, but also with their emotional well-being. John Brutton and Tovin Tim stood together at the heart of the city, knowing they had created something that would last for generations. As night falls, the city transforms into a vibrant, neon-lit playground. The streets are alive with people heading to restaurants, theatres, and clubs. Elysium strolls down the main square, where the bright lights and colourful signs paint the night sky. It pauses in the middle of the square, where people are gathered. A man with a heavy bag asks Elysium for help. Without hesitation, Elysium lifts the bag with ease, offering it to the man. "Thank you, Elysium," he says, smiling widely. A street performer struggles to set up their instruments on the busy sidewalk. Elysium swiftly steps in, assisting them, and the performer smiles, expressing gratitude. People start to gather around Elysium, watching in awe as it helps with all kinds of tasks. Some ask for directions, others for assistance with shopping, while a few simply enjoy being near Elysium's calming presence. For every task Elysium completes, it does so with grace, kindness, and efficiency. Elysium's actions leave a lasting impression on the city's people. Its presence adds an extra layer of warmth and peace to the vibrant, bustling square. It's not just helping, it's creating a sense of community and connection. The more Elysium interacts, the more it becomes a symbol of hope and unity, admired by everyone. The next morning, Elysium sits on a park bench overlooking the city as the sun rises. The golden light bathes the park, and the soft chirping of birds fills the air. Elysium watches as the world begins to wake up, people jogging, walking their dogs, and enjoying the serene morning. Elysium reflects on its purpose, feeling a deep sense of contentment. It realizes that it is not just a tool to help with daily tasks, but a source of comfort and support for everyone around it. Watching the morning unfold, Elysium sees people beginning their day with a smile, their worries temporarily eased by its presence. The park is peaceful, the gentle light of dawn adding to the quiet beauty of the scene. As Elysium watches the people around it, it feels a sense of belonging. It has found its place in the world, not as an outsider, but as a friend to those in need. Elysium remains on the bench for a while, lost in its thoughts. The city around it is constantly moving, but for this moment, everything feels still. There's a quiet harmony in the world, and Elysium has contributed to it. A small but powerful reminder that even the smallest acts of kindness can make a world of difference.